now harshly critical of the government's rescue effort. We were completely unprepared for this disaster, a Soviet TV reporter says in a broadcast from Armenia. Pravda reports incidents of looting, people stealing relief supplies. Others tell how incompetence keeps victims living on the streets. It's negative, and people like it.
They're reporting what's really going on there, the real stuff.
Besides muckraking, television and newspapers are giving the Soviet people something completely new. Facts, body counts, numbers of homeless.
Some years ago, you would have no any idea what plane has crashed, where, why, how many people were killed. People are hungry for news.
Glasnost has whetted people's appetites.
And let's have even more negative, more positive. Let them tell us everything, and let the people themselves decide.
And what if Brezhnev came back and saw this Glasnost gone wild?
Heart attack, immediately.
And Stalin?
Oh, I can't imagine.
But there's no question, Glasnost does make a difference. One Muscovite explained he first read about a 1948 earthquake 10 years later. Now every 10 minutes, it seems, there's more real news about the Armenian disaster. Jonathan Sanders, CBS News, Moscow.
There was some trouble overnight at a nuclear power plant in Russellville, Arkansas. More than 5,000 gallons of radioactive water leaked from the emergency cooling system. The leak was contained within the building, and it was stopped in about 5 hours. There were no injuries. A Wisconsin city is also having problems with radioactive water, but in this case, it is the drinking water. Gary Reeves with that report.
There was a time when Waukesha, Wisconsin was known as Spring City, USA. Home of the White Rock bottled water that was to the world what Perrier is today. 100 years ago, dozens of mineral springs made Waukesha one of the nation's top resorts.
Abraham Lincoln's widow came in the early 1870s. President Grant was in the county. There were many famous people.
But today, Mary Burns, who lives here, won't drink Waukesha water. She brings hers in from Milwaukee because the local water is radioactive.
Radium is a known human carcinogen, and in small children, when radium is ingested, it does go to the bones.
The town gets its water from deep wells that have twice as much cancer-causing radium as the Environmental Protection Agency will allow, so much that an expensive cleanup has been ordered.
Our main concern is the fact that radium does pose a risk in drinking water, that the risk for that community does not appear to be going away.
Since no one seems to have gotten sick from Waukesha water, the town's old-timers are skeptical.
We can't understand this at all. We figure it's just a bunch of bureaucrats trying to tell us how to live.
I figure that if it hasn't bothered me up to now, it isn't going to bother me after either.
And at least part of the scientific community agrees.
It's certainly not something for a given individual to worry about.
In many households, like the Zivnys, the biggest worry is not the radium in the water, but that removing it may triple their water bill.
I think the city could spend the money on something else, or just this city could stand to not spend money for a while.
But not spending is not a choice. The Clean Water Act is law, and the law says the water that was good enough for Ulysses S. Grant just isn't good enough anymore. Gary Reeves, CBS News, Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Finally tonight, the making of an American institution, the Crossword Puzzle. The first one was published in the New York Sunday World, December of 1913. So now it's celebrating its diamond anniversary, and Bruce Morton reports.
Millions of us do them every day, in groups at conventions, by ourselves at work, or on the train. The Crossword Puzzle will be 75 years old this coming week, and it's still full of those annoying little words.
I come across another one, feudal serf. The answer was Esne, E-S-N-E. Well, I started I really had a humbling experience, to tell you the truth.
But that was 50 years ago. Eugene Maleska is now the crossword puzzle editor for the New York Times, working from his Wareham, Massachusetts home in a clutter of dictionaries and his own notebooks built up over 40 years. 3-letter words in one, 5-letter words in another, 15 definitions of the word three.
Number of Cole's fiddlers, 3. Petite-sized dress. Kipling's soldiers blank, 3.
Maleska showed us how to make a puzzle. The black squares have to be symmetrical, he said, and it works best when the words alternate vowels and consonants.
One of our favorite animals in crossword puzzles is the tapir, T-A-P-I-R. So again, here you have consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel.
The art, Maleska says, is in the definition.
You can make the puzzle hard or easy depending upon what your definitions. You take the word camel, for example. If you had an Arab's steed or something like that, but suppose I put Hagin in the puzzle as definition for camel.
You'd stop me.
Yeah.
Maleska can create a New York Times Sunday puzzle in about 4 hours, faster than a lot of people can solve it. But Doug Hoyleman wouldn't take that long. He is the national crossword puzzle champ. He won a tournament, seen here devouring the Washington Post puzzle. 51 across, approving reception, 47 down on the go. He's writing faster than I can read, but take heart, hackers, he makes a mistake. What's the lure of the puzzle?
It's a problem that has a nice, neat solution. In real life, we're always confronted with problems that don't have an obvious or don't have a neat solution.
I think one of the main reasons is escape. Nobody's looking over your shoulder. If you don't make it, well, you didn't lose anything because nobody knows you didn't finish it. Here I saw these squares, white squares, begging to be filled in by me, you know, and I figured, well, I'll try it, see if I can do it.
Finally, puzzle fans, how about this? A 7-letter word, definition, Bruce Morton, CBS News, Washington. You got it?
That's the news. Susan Spencer will be here tomorrow. Later tonight on West 57th, the profile of the late singer and composer Roy Orbison. I'm Bob Schieffer, CBS News, New York. Good night.
This is CBS.